Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm really enjoying the Isekai Ryoko no Techo model kit series here, and in today's video we're taking a look at the third release out in the line here, Hailey Smith. This line from PR Production, not only just for this really cool, very unique packaging that it has, and we'll take a look at that here more in just a second. We'll go through the contents and then we'll take a look at the finished kit. But yeah, just really cool, very unique style to not only the packaging but the model kit itself too. This character once again looks pretty fun, pretty cute there, as you can see. So let's go ahead and get into it here for today's video. So taking a look around the box here before we get into it, you can see this is from PR Productions, part of the Isekai Ryoko no Techo series, number 3 in the line. She is the novice blacksmith of the series. They're all novice something. I think the novice mage was the last one, the previous one we took a look at here. Hailey Smith for our character. If you look around here on this side, just kind of have a window into the runners inside on this side. Photos of the actual kit there, and then like I think this is meant to be like face option parts, or just anyway some different kind of logos there. She's got her hammer for the main weapon, and then nothing really interesting here on the back side or the bottom side. But on the top side here, you can see another window in with the face parts presented there, along with a couple of the other like pre-cut out parts there for you. Some little bits here, all kind of here on the top. So let's go ahead and open it up and check it out. This clamshell here on the top. Let's check out this stuff here. Basically just containing our face option parts, which look really nice, very fun, very expressive. A couple of parts of the clothing there. This runner, which is actually runner T, is going to be our wrist joint parts, it looks like. Our hand parts are in here, molded on this softer plastic, kind of light, very, very light brown kind of color. A couple of other bits here, like looks like for the bottom of the shoes, a couple of little clothing parts. And then these parts here for the top of the display base, just to give your display base a little bit more kind of color with a little bit of a flower pattern on there. Further in here, we've got our brick of runners. Again, love how these are designed to stack up like that. We'll take a closer look at the runners individually here in just a moment. But again, it's really cool how they design these, and then also the labeling here on the top kind of goes off to the angle there until you get to these ones right there. So anyway, just really cool setup for that. On the inside of our box here, we've got some cool stuff, including some of just like the build tips. There's all of our parts and parts list right here. And then for the actual instruction manual, we've just got our assembly instructions here, pretty straightforward. For this, I believe this is going to be the same like we've seen with all the other ones, where it comes with all the parts just to make just like the body without any clothing on it. And that would just be so if you wanted to use like any other like kind of doll clothing, you can use it on this. So you're going to build that first, and then you're going to build the kind of parts that are specific to like this version of the kit. That's going to continue here onto the back side of the manual, along with the assembly instructions for her backpack and accessories and stuff there. And then here on the very last page, we've got this little mini comic strip there, which looks to be in Chinese. That looks pretty cool, but that's going to be about it here for the manual. And so our first couple of runners here, runners A, B, C, and D, are going to be all of our skin tone colored parts here for the kit. Again, obviously you're not going to be using all of these unless you're planning on using just the kind of nude body in order to use some different kind of clothing for it, but that's going to be on their first few runners. Runner E is going to be here in plain clear for the display base. You've got 2 of these base plates and then a few of these like kind of connection parts there to connect the kit. Runner F is going to be all of our hair parts here in this very nice, very interesting shade of green there. Runner G is going to be some parts here in brown for the clothing. Runner H is molded in this kind of light tan color, but you can see some of the parts on here are pre-painted in this kind of gray color there as well. Similarly, runner I here is molded in a kind of light gray, and then we've got some parts here in plated gold at the top. Lastly, then here runner J is molded in clear blue, and then this part of runner J is in a clear orange for the last of our runners. Let me go ahead and get this all put together and we'll check it out. Alright guys, then here is the kit all built up. I'm really enjoying this line. These kits are a lot of fun. I think going from the first now to the third one, from the first to the second release, I definitely saw some small improvements in just like the design of the kit. And then going from the second to the third one now, I'm seeing continued improvements just by this one also having just kind of more accessories and option parts in here included as well compared to the first and the second release. So it's really cool to see the progression of the improvement with this line so far, but every one has been quite unique and quite fun to build. They certainly make for a nice collection if you're collecting them. But But let's go ahead and check out the accessories that we have included with this one. So first of all, we've got our face option parts. Now the face option parts look really nice. I really like the colors and the design of them. One thing that I mentioned before though that you may or may not like, I actually kind of don't really mind it, but they're not very dimensional in that like it's just basically laid over like a blank face option part. So it's like the mouth, for example, doesn't actually have any depth to it. It's just printed right on top of the part. But again, I think they look really nice. So here's our first and second options there, and the third option here. So as you can see, we got some really nice expressive face option parts for this one. And then just like the two previous kits in the line, you have all the parts to make the entirety of the body in skin tone if you want, most of which, like the boots here and the forearms, it's just like the clothing parts just fit over the skin tone parts, but like you have different parts for the thigh, different parts here for like the waist section there as well. But you also have a set of bare feet, so if you wanted to just have her like without the boots on, you can just have the lower legs in skin tone and then the bare feet there at the bottom. And then similarly, we have hand option parts, so if you didn't want to have the gloves on, you just wanted to have her arm and then just obviously the hand here in the same matching skin tone. We've got open expressive hands as well as closed fists available in skin tone. But for the gloved hands, we've got closed fists, open expressive hands, as well as the addition of peace sign hands and weapon holding hands, or just accessory holding hands, I guess. And you've got all those for the left and the right side both. And then we've also got these option ring parts here for the limbs to give you a hard point on there if you wanted to add other different accessories or something. So there's one that goes here in the middle of the upper arm. There's one that goes here in the middle of the thigh. Then there's one that goes in kind of the middle of the calf there as well, obviously covered up now by the boots. And then we've got our display stands here. So there's two different pieces for like the top of the display stand there, but the arms are going to be the same, just a couple of different points of articulation as you can see on there. And then this is just going to plug into the back of the kit to that hard point right there. For our other accessories then, here we've got her backpack. Now this will just fit around the arms there basically, and this has the option of either being completely closed like this. These parts here are optional, so we can open this up. Then you've got these pieces here that will slot down into there, and that basically just makes a hinge there to display the backpack open if you want. But yeah, then these parts here on the side, you can remove those out of there, and instead you can put this piece in here, sort of like a rolled up blanket or whatever, and some like crystal parts, fit that there instead, and then close this up for the backpack to look like that, like it's loaded up with stuff in there. Really cool. And then she's got her big hammer here with the red glowing end. I kind of wish that they give you an option part to have this either just like both in just plain gray. So if you didn't want to have it looking like it's glowing red like that, would have been nice, but the handle here in gold is really cool. And then to go with the hammer, of course, we've got the anvil, some nice gold accents for this as well. So there's a gold piece that goes on the inside that gives you that bit. So this is pretty simple. But then you also have these two effect parts that you can use. You don't have to use them both at the same time. You could just use one, either one or both. They don't actually plug into anything, so they're gonna very easily just slide off. So you may wanna consider using like sticky tack or something underneath, maybe just a little bit, or maybe like a tiny little piece of double-sided tape or something just to hold those in place. But meant to use that together with the hammer to make it look like she's like actually striking the anvil. That's what these little effect pieces are for. But do kind of wish that there was a way for these to actually stick onto there. Like magnets would have been cool or something, like a little magnet inside there, and then just a metal plate on the inside of here, so you could just kind of stick it on here wherever, something like that. Then lastly, her little gold bars. There's three that are just completely plain like this, and then there's three that have the little gold AU 9999. I'm guessing that's just supposed to be like unlimited gold there here on these little gold bars. So you've got 6 of those total, 3 blank and then 3 with text on them. And that's it for all of our accessories and everything. Like I said, she does come with quite a bit of stuff. And as for the articulation of this one, like we've seen with the past couple, the articulation is fairly limited. It's about what you would expect for a kit like this. A single joint in the elbow is just going to give you about 90 degrees there. It is a little bit limited just because of the glove here as well. The head is on a ball joint, so you have a little bit of up and down, obviously rotation here, so not a huge range of movement there. In the torso section, you've got like a little bit of movement front and back, a little bit of rotation that is again just going to be a little bit limited by the clothing here. The leg will come up to about 90 degrees perpendicular to the body, and then a double joint at the knee gives you a pretty full bend there as far as that goes. And the ankle is also on a little joint here that will give you a little bit of range movement side to side, as well as down and up a little bit there. Some nice detail up underneath the feet as well. One thing that I do find kind of odd is that there's a little bit of a gap there, like kind of between her hair and then like these parts up at the top. It seems like there's supposed to be something that's supposed to go in there. There isn't anything that's included here, but it would be a good idea maybe if you had just like some putty or something just to fill in there, if you were planning on painting the kit, just to make it look like there's an actual like hair tie in there or something, because as it is now, it looks like this is just like not pushed on all the way, as basically the hair parts just fit on here here via this ball joint like that, but they don't actually really move that much. You can kind of just rotate them a little bit. And so yeah, with a kit like this, just fairly simple construction, not a ton of parts, and just because of the style of it, it's not necessarily going to be the most posable compared to some other different like kind of Musume style girlpla kits like this. But I think the great thing about this line is just kind of the novelty of them. They're very unique. You don't see a whole lot of kits coming out like in this style. So it's also really fun that each character out in the line has like a different role. Like we saw obviously the knight, the mage, and now the blacksmith. So especially if you're into like fantasy genre stuff, these are a lot of fun as well. But like I said before, I think this one does come with a lot of nice accessories in there. You've obviously got all the different option parts, like for the body, the face option parts, the hand option parts. Then you've got her backpack, the hammer, anvil, the gold bars, the effect parts, and everything. So it does give you a good amount of posing options. I'll be able to show you just a few of the posing options here, but obviously you can get creative with it. And one thing that I do also want to make sure to mention too is that I think the color separation on the, especially like the clothing parts, is done really quite well. You like the separate colored bits for the different colors of brown, the gray parts, the light tan parts there on like the top of her gloves and stuff as well. So some nice color separation on what is like a fairly simple design. A little bit of detail painting for like the clothing part on like her shirt sort of maybe would be good to just add in there, but otherwise like everything's pretty much there for you already. So a fun kit and a really unique line. I definitely recommend checking these out. If you would like to, you can check the link in the video description down below here to USA Gundam store. You got these and lots more cool stuff there on the site, so check that out. And as always guys, thanks so much for checking out the video here today. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like. If you're not yet subscribed, you can subscribe as well right down there below the video. Really appreciate your guys' support. Thank you so much. What did you think about the kit? Let me know in the comment section. And until next time, I hope you all are doing well. See you guys next time. Later.